Well, howdy guys, welcome back. Time for another driving vlog. So, something, actually a little bit of a change of pace. I'm actually just coming back from the airport right now. I'm working a trade show this weekend, and it's at the International Center, which is like literally next door to the airport. I'm just kind of driving home from that right now. So the airport is off to the right. Unfortunately, I'm not really getting the best view of it, but I kind of thought maybe for this video, we would just maybe take a look at kind of the like highway infrastructure in and around kind of the airport area. I think it's kind of neat. So we're about to get on the 409 East, which connects to the 401 and the 427 eventually. And I'm trying to get 427 southbound into more or less the downtown Toronto direction. But it's a pretty cool area, and it was recently redeveloped. So a lot more of like the merging arms and stuff kind of make more sense and everything. The only downside is like the speed limit here is like, it's so like painfully slow. Like painfully slow. And there's always cops kind of cruising around too, just getting people that like, you know, are going like just a few kilometers an hour over the limit. So I don't know. Apparently it's the name of safety, but you know, feels more like a bit of a cash grab. Anyway, so 427 southbound, that's us. We're going to be heading into the downtown core. Similar drive to our last video, but we're starting further away this time around. And we're going to make our way through a pretty nifty interchange. And I'll kind of point that out as we go, and it's pretty chaotic. And this time of day, traffic-wise, you know, we should be pretty solid. Just during rush hour, oh my goodness, it's like the interchange for the 401, 427. It gets pretty slow. Nice new Corvette right there. Really like the look of those new ones. Let's go race them. Yeah, right. What is this, television? And so yeah, the 427 right here is actually under construction as well. They're introducing a collector and express lane system to this part of the highway just to accommodate higher volumes of traffic. And boy, oh boy, whenever the highway's under construction, oh my goodness, everything just kind of falls apart. So still the airport off to our right, so you can kind of see it, sort of, not really though. I'll take us on a few other drives just later on down the road, no pun intended. And yeah, I'll take you to some cool spots in the airport. I'll take you to one spot where you get like a nice little scenic overlook, and we can just kind of hang out there and chit chat for a few minutes while planes land and stuff. But yeah, coming up, it's called the basket weave, I think is what we call it. Or just in general, I don't think it's just us. I'm sure it's in other cities a basket weave interchange, but it's a pretty complicated interchange here, the 427, where it meets the 401. And the 427 south, I mean, this part's pretty easy, but if you're going 401, say eastbound, trying to go 427 south, that's a little bit of a chaotic kind of mix. Because you have the highway going from 4 lanes down to the 2 lanes that we're in right now, and then we're being met by 2 incoming lanes that are coming from the 401, and that's traffic that we'll be merging with pretty soon. And then all of these lanes fall down to 2 lanes, so it's like 4 becoming 2, meeting 4 becoming 2, and then that 4 then becomes 2, if that made any sense, if you guys followed that. So those 2 lanes on the right, you can see how they're ending. They've got to come join us, and then we have to progressively move over as well once we meet up with another set of merging arms. So very, very complicated interchange. And it just, unfortunately, it doesn't really do all that well in high volume situations. You can even see right now, it's like just, you know, not that busy, but it's, we just slow down tremendously just to get through that. Anyway, my best piece of advice, if you are going to be doing like a very over-the-top complicated interchange system, I would say have your merging arms just kind of work well so that directions, you know, you're not really cutting in front of faster moving traffic, I guess, sort of, I don't know. And then space out your intersections as well, or like kind of where your merging arms would be. And so I actually had a comment come in where someone was saying that they hadn't actually seen an express / collector system on a highway before. So right now we're in the express lanes, and there's no exit onto the street. You can only exit into a collector lane, which are the lanes off to the right, and then those ones are the ones you'll exit on and off of the streets. But what you can do is you can use your collector lanes as your driving lanes. So we can pretend that the collector is the express, and we can just continue on straight. You don't have to make your way over here. And a collector and express system, it's pretty handy in cities that just have really high volumes of traffic. And so me, for example, if I wasn't necessarily stopping at any of these stops here, which I'm not, that's why I'd stick in the collector. And then just the way the highway is set up, it forces us into the express, how we went through that interchange anyway. And oh my gosh, this guy's going so fast. Watch this guy passing us. What? Mr. BMW, slow down. Because like, we're already speeding a little bit. And that lane's ending too, so it's kind of, you know, irresponsible of these people, but see, look at that guy right there. Toronto, definitely a Wild West when it comes to this kind of stuff. And again, remember, I'm speeding right now. So just think about how fast all these people are going. And you can see why I exited the express. Not that I foresaw that coming, but we're now dodging all that traffic, so that's good. And that might maybe be the result of, say, like an accident or, I don't know, something like that. So in that sense, that's why it's good to have collector and express lanes, because, you know, that's all backed up, but we're still moving fast and fine over here. So your city isn't crippled. Now, this just could be a volume-based situation, and that may not actually be an accident or anything, but either way. And then we're going to be taking the Gardiner Expressway in town, and for a small stretch just past the 427, there's also a collector and express lane system. Not as big as the one that we're kind of on right now, but still kind of cool. And I will show you guys that as we get there. All right, cross your fingers that there's actually not an accident, and this is just maybe a little bit of volume delay. Because you know what, it's like Saturday on the dinner hour, so I imagine a lot of people are probably going out, so a little bit of traffic here and there. Oh boy, I'm losing hope here. A lot of brake lights ahead of us. And the other thing too is, like, we might just have one person at the very front of this entire line who is like, I don't really feel like going too fast through this interchange. Which I guess is their prerogative. Drive at your speed at which you're comfortable at, to a certain extent. But you know what I mean, just kind of slow the rest of us down. And this is another one of those turns that is just really, really, really well engineered. It's such a nice little gentle curve with it. And I'd probably be going a bit faster if there were no cars ahead of us. See, like this, what are all these brake lights for? Actually, you know what I should do one time? Is I should just go on a full-on, just like drive through the core during rush hour, so you guys can see how absolutely bonkers traffic can become. So I think Toronto, it like ranks up there in terms of traffic with like cities like Los Angeles now, so it's pretty wild here. Oh, and just a little asterisk while that's something I'm thinking of it. I found a way to up the quality on my phone. I just assumed that it was filming in better, and then I noticed it was at 720. So now we're filming in 1080, and unfortunately I don't have that much space on my phone, so like my phone, it's able to record 1080 in 60 frames per second, but it's going to be like a much bigger file size, so I have to make a shorter video. And I can also do Ultra HD and 4K. So the options, like again, I have to make a shorter video, but the options are there. So we can always try like a scenic, I don't know, just drive through the core and do some fun things with like super high quality on or something, but okay, what is our game plan here? I did want to show you guys just the express/collector lane system again. But traffic, I don't know, we'll just kind of see what happens here. Traffic's our variable. And I feel like people don't really behave all that well in traffic. I think traffic kind of brings out the worst in people, especially in Toronto. Oh, I see some flashing lights ahead. So maybe there's an accident? That would support our claim for all this traffic. See, it's like that guy in the minivan, you know, he's cutting off that armored truck right there, you know? And they're all honking at each other, and it's like there's nowhere to go, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know? Because really, you know, it's like we're all on the same team here. We're all trying to just get to where we're going, you know? Not really trying to get in each other's way, per se. Yep, I see an accident. I only see tow trucks, though. I don't see any emergency vehicles. So they either didn't need them, or they haven't arrived yet. Because I don't know if it's like that in your cities, but like in Toronto, it's like, oh my gosh, the amount of tow trucks that just kind of drive around looking for accidents and that kind of stuff. That's a decent accident right there. But we don't want to slow down and rubberneck. Don't be part of the problem. And so yeah, just off to the right, that Kipling-Islington Park lawn, that would be the exit to go into the collector lane. So let's go over there and explore that. But you can continue on them, and you can get back onto the Gardiner, and it may actually be a little bit better and faster for us right now, because then we can avoid all of this traffic backlog. And that's usually what I do when I'm driving home from work, is the route I take. So I'll kind of hop in between collector and express. And I'll usually listen to traffic reports on the news, and I'll just try and get myself like a little bit of heads up. So yeah, I'd say this is probably moving a bit faster. Getting closer to highway speed again. And there's just something, I don't know, almost romantic about driving into the city at as the sun sets, when all the lights are turning on. I really like it. So you can kind of see just on and off ramps, basically. Essentially the point of the collector system. Well, so much for us going faster. Now the irony would be is if we see police up ahead doing a speed trap, because usually in the collector lanes where we are now, just kind of on the park lawn exit, there's one spot on the bridge where the cops used to like usually hang out. And I'm just very impressed when people can actually manage to speed in these environments, when you see someone actually being pulled over. And actually, let's get off the park lawn. Let's just do this here. Crossing the bullhorn, don't do that. That was the very last second turn, but I didn't want to cut off the person that was behind me, so that was my logic for that. So yeah, the speed limit drops from like highway speed down to 70, and then most people won't slow down, and then right where that bridge is, the police will hang out right underneath there, so you can't quite see them, and then they'll get you. This is probably faster than just taking the highway in, though. So yeah, just there on the left, where those pillars are, that's where the cops like to hang out. A lot of condos down here, too. It's a cool little spot. And I don't know how much of a view we'll get of it, but there's a really cool tram turnaround point just up and around the corner here. So I'll be taking the Queensway in instead of doing the Gardner now. And this is a really, really, really big truck depot just to the right. And it's where the city gets all of its produce. So that's pretty cool. Not all of its produce, but like the bulk of it. Or at least produce that would be arriving by truck. Nice advanced green on that side so we can make our turn no problem. I love executing a high-speed turn where everything just feels so smooth and nice. Love that. And then for you luxury car enthusiasts, there's a luxury car showroom just there on the left with the yellow writing. I don't know if we can see inside or not, but there are lots of supercars in there. So yeah, this part right here, where that little bridge is, we're actually just going up and over where all the trams turn around. You can kind of see some vehicles and everything down there on the right in that little little valley thing. So buses and trams and everything link up there and make turnarounds, which is pretty cool. It's a shame we aren't getting a view of any of that in action, but again, something we can save for a future video. This is just me kind of making my way home. Casually hanging out with you guys, I guess. Oh, and then for those of you who are looking for updates, I'm still diligently working away on the time-lapse city. And I want to say I'm past the halfway point, but it's kind of hard to say. But so I should have it out, like, I don't know, the next week or two, but it's so tough to kind of say. But I just want you to know that I'm thinking about you guys, and I really wish I could get some other Skylines content out. It's just, that city is just, oh my gosh, I have to get it done. I get so paranoid. But yeah, once it's done, it'll bring in, like, you know, a whole bunch of new views. Like, we'll kind of grow our community. We'll kind of roll with that momentum. And just, yeah, get back to our regular videos. And we're on the Queensway right now, and in the center of the Queensway, there's dedicated tram tracks. So cool use of the area. And we'll probably end up seeing one. Oh, and I just thought too, actually, the way we'll be going, we're going to be going past this really big rail yard for trams and stuff. Actually, I was talking about it in the last video. There was that one that was at Bathurst and Sinclair, and I was saying that there was another one that was near me, and this is the one. We're going to be passing it. So it's exciting. And then we'll cross our fingers, and hopefully we'll see a lot of, like, vehicles going in and out, just so we can get an idea of everything. Like, that person, like, where are you going, you know? The person's, like, speeding just to catch up to the person in front of them. Like, I don't get that logic. This street, though, I really like it. Because usually it's not bogged down by traffic. That's kind of why I take it as my alternate. Sometimes it is, but... So when Lakeshore or the Gardner's all backed up, I'll just hop over here, and it's just a nice drive, and it's a bike lane on the right, and so it just, I don't know, good vibes over here. And if we wanted to, we could take a left-hand turn here and go into Hyde Park, which is that giant, oversized park that's kind of on the west end. It's like, I want to say the equivalent of, like, Central Park. I don't know if it's the same size. I imagine it's a little bit smaller, but it's like, same kind of idea, just a super huge park. And we can actually drive through it, so we can maybe make a video of that one day. wasn't necessarily planning on doing it now. I'm trying to think. But no. We'll stick on our route. Oh, you know what? Actually, I just noticed that the number on that bus is 501. That's the streetcar route. So we're actually not going to see any streetcars or trams. So that means maybe there's some construction or something on one of the portions of the tracks. So the trams have been replaced by buses. That's no fun. I guess that makes sense as to why we haven't seen any, though. Normally we would have seen one or two just kind of whiz on by in the middle track there, but nope. Nice big hospital on the left. And then just past this on the left, this big parking lot thing, this is where the tram depot thing is. And it's like a service yard. They like do like repair and maintenance and that kind of stuff. So here's a little tram turnaround point now, speaking of which. Yeah, I don't know how much you guys can see, but on the left it's pretty cool. Oh, I see. Something is going down. So you guys can't see, but there's a this vehicle, the streetcar with the doors open. On the back seat, there's uniformed officers, and they're chatting with someone. So it looks like there was either someone who did fare evasion or was causing trouble, and that's maybe why the other streetcars aren't running. I don't know, because this one looks like it's dead in its tracks right now. So that's no good. And I don't know if it's related to the issue, but there is that random truck also blocking the way. But sometimes those guys are there just to refill or clean out some of the switches and the tracks and stuff. And they'll refill some of the buckets with sand. Our trams will spray sand on the rails for traction. Squeaky wheels. No, it's a cool spot of town. I really like it. And that's the Burrito Boys I went to and got that burrito at in my Snapchat just from the other week. But yeah, I think we'll end things off here, guys. Another fun video. Hope you guys got a nice little fun idea of our highway system. Definitely not the last video on the highways, but yeah, just a little intro one. But yeah, so I'll try and record a few more of these. Yeah, just as time kind of goes on. But I'm loving that you guys are into this. So yeah, I'll just keep on doing them. All right, guys, I wish you all the best. As always, drive safe. And yeah, looking forward to reading the comments. Let me know what you think about this, about today's drive. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. I'll see you again. All the best.